Hi, I'm Mark. This was my former life, actually working down here on Bay Street in downtown Toronto. I did this rat race grind for over 5 years and spun the corporate hamster wheel for over 20. Look at this. Is this the purpose and gratification and meaning you want in life? Trading your time that you'll never get back for money, for a job and a skill that you happen to be good at, but does nothing to nourish your soul and help define a well-lived life? Not for me. Not for me. Woo! And now, here I am! But what did it take for me to get here? So, I'm from here. Like, actually born here. True North strong and free, baby! So, I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, played street hockey, built snow forts, played Nicky Nicky Nine Door, otherwise known as Ding Dong Ditch. Did not wear a bike helmet riding my bike. I still don't. I've had the spills and the bruises and the goose eggs and the stitches and ended up in hospital, and I'm all good. In school, before class would start, we'd say the Lord's Prayer. I also learned cursive handwriting. And in December, the whole school would get together for assemblies to sing Christmas carols together. My brother and I played G.I. Joes and Transformers. I was Cobra and Decepticon. My brother was Joe and Autobots. In the 80s, I wore neon. In high school, I tied plaid shirts around my waist. And in university, I drank Labatt's Blue. In the summers, I would camp. And in the winter, I would ski and snowboard. And I'm very happy and proud to have lived this life here. But I'm also a bit sad to see the fabric of what made this country great being eroded by those willingly choosing not to fit in. So, welcome to my channel, and I hope that you'll stay a while. So, typically I'm kind of like everyone else. You know, after high school, I went to university. But I did not graduate. I do not have a degree. I actually, pretty much dropped out. But everyone in my professional life just assumes that I have a degree simply because I went to university. It's not like I lied to them or misled them. It's how I carried myself in that environment, the proficiencies I showed in whatever role or responsibility or job that I held down. So I asked myself, does a university degree, or even a college one, does it truly matter in my life? And for me, no. The answer is no. Just the experience of having gone and, the incredible friendships that you make during that time. Anyways, so during university, I held down a part-time job, like a lot of people do. And I ended up staying with that company and working my way up the ladder. Promotions, job titles, benefits, salaries, raises, and it all culminated into business trips to Midtown Manhattan, New York City. And I got to tell you, I too loved New York after those experiences there. So I was good at the desk job that I did. I had trajectories for bigger titles and salaries. But it was all just so unfulfilling. I had a moment that never left me. It was just one stressful or mundane day at work. Piles of paper on your desk, tons of emails to respond to, your voicemail's full, and you've got those little yellow post-it notes around your monitor with urgent things that need to get done yesterday. Then 2 maintenance guys came out to the floor with a couple ladders. They were stringing network cable through the ceiling tiles above. And all I wanted to do was push off all the work on my desk and climb that physical ladder with those guys and give up the metaphorical one that I was on. I happen to be good with my hands. I like working with them. I like getting up to projects and being active. But sitting at a desk just didn't satisfy this. A few years later, the axe swung for about 1,000 employees. And I had seen it many times before and survived it. But this time, my head was on the block. I made too much for the position that I was in, and they could simply get a new hire and pay them less. All about the numbers and bottom line. I was never pissed. I was more in shock that you're home on a Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. and your decades-long career is over. But that's when my life changed. Everyone told me to take 2 weeks to myself. I took 10 days and then got to work. I made a couple websites, dabbled in day trading on the stock market, even made a couple YouTube compilation videos that went absolutely nowhere. I also rejected a really good job offer and eventually took one in the, shall we say, agricultural industry. Entry-level blue collar. A throwback to my factory days when I was 18 years old. I actually did pretty well. And I got a very sought-after promotion. But the harassment I faced there, daily, for months, was absolutely terrible. And it ended with me losing my job after coming forward. I will do my damnedest to never ever have to work for someone else again. People can suck. They are absolutely cutthroat and ruthless. No people here. So, being tired of the congestion of the city, the lack of peace and the lack of privacy, I sold my house, took my capital gains, and ran here to the country. I'm learning as I go, but what I'm relying on and investing in is myself. The greatest thing school taught me is the ability to teach myself. I don't know where I'll end up, but I have a goal and a destination in mind. At 100K subscribers, a creator will receive a silver play button plaque. Now, I did not attain a university diploma, but that plaque, I want that. It's going to be difficult, but it would be an achievement I would be proud of and would help define a well-lived life versus a corporate job title and a 100K salary. I mean, can you all see that difference? 100K subscribers and a meaningful and gratifying community, or a 100K salary and an unfulfilling, hollow existence. The other thing is that at this point in life, connections with people have changed. The old outdated adage, everyone goes their own way, apparently means everyone is so busy that they go a year or 2 or 3 without hearing from their friends or family. I was the guy that was the life of the party. That friend that always initiated and planned good times with the group. Someone who's had a couple happy long-term relationships. And I was also the longtime goalie on my beer league hockey team. That neighbor that would help out and chat with everyone. But it all just seems to evaporate to a mist when you get halfway through life. You know, your body just can't stretch like it used to make that spectacular glove save. People have so much damage done and walls up that they no longer date and connect with each other in that way. Neighborhoods change as good ones move out and terrible ones move in. People's time is so precious that they have these tight conditions in which to spend it, especially when it comes to one of the best ways you can spend it, with people. You only get one impression, one chance to make that impression, and if it's not good, they won't make the drive up because it's too far, it's too raw, or they're simply too busy. But I know out here on YouTube, there are people that would love to repeatedly visit my property, and me. People that are interested in the off-grid lifestyle, as rewarding and hardworking as it can be. I just don't have anyone interested in this in my life offline. It's very much a solo pursuit and lifestyle. But the human heart, we don't want to go it alone. We want to share and connect. But living in the year 2025, how long does it take to text someone a hello? But it just doesn't happen. However, some of you out there have left a like or a comment just minutes after I've uploaded a video, while I have friends that can't even text me a what's up. It's a little unbelievable and overwhelming that I'm building a community here, and I'm grateful for it. There's something else I have to address. When I first came onto this land, I pointed a camera at myself for 11 months before I started YouTube. I was just trying to find my way and figure out how I wanted to capture my journey out here. On top of just discovering this new life I set out to explore and the immense learnings and challenges that come with it. So yes, there is a delay with my content, but I myself am live in the comments. However, I feel the strain of that delay, and I'm at a fork in the road with my process of producing and publishing content. My 2-year anniversary on YouTube just went by, and I have to decide if I want to continue lagging with my content or jump ahead to present day and start creating real-time content. But what I already have published and what you're currently watching is a guy with less than 49 subscribers, grinding month after month with little to flat success. And it took me 16 months to gain those 49 subscribers. And there's another creator on here who got 8,500 subscribers in his first 12 days. But what really killed me was that someone left a comment on his first video that said, "You seem like you were going to see this through, unlike other channels that start and never finish." I've been at this for over 2 years now, and that guy receives that comment in 12 days? If you want an example of someone who's determined and dedicated and has to earn every single one of my subscribers, hi. The last thing I want to say is that I'm alone here and no one is helping me. No one is holding my camera. No one is editing my content. No one is advising me. No one is teaching me. I'm just a guy pointing a camera at himself. An ode to the original spirit of YouTube. Truly authentic. But if you're like me, you're a little bit tired of the off-grid channels that have become a well-oiled and highly produced machine. Tired of the blatant sponsorships for products they're getting paid to say good things about and make us believe them. Tired of thumbnails where it's cleavage in the foreground and cabin in the background. Or clickbait titles like, "I left it all behind." only to find out like they just went on vacation for a week or took a break. It seems like the more subscribers they have, the less they interact with them because of sheer numbers and sometimes sheer ego. If you look at the videos that I have published here on YouTube, I try to get back to everyone with thoughtful replies and gratitude because it's who I am and it's what I'm looking for here. Company and community. So, thank you all for being here. I truly enjoy bringing people together for great moments, and I myself, I'm having the time of my life out here. If you speak to any parent, they'll tell you their greatest accomplishment is raising their children. But what if you don't have children? What's your greatest accomplishment then? For me, I want to develop an off-grid cabin and homestead here. I have very little experience, but I was immensely inspired by everyone else on YouTube that showed me it was possible. I'm a relentless worker that can learn, has passion, ambition, and I need to create this accomplishment to help define my life in the absence of children. I'll try and capture my journey with authenticity, honesty, and in a way that makes you believe you can pursue your own dream too. Later.